Hello, everybody, and welcome to the MHI podcast. I am your host, Moriah, an MHI scholar, and here is Desana's story and her experience with a recent breast cancer scare. When we were interviewing her, I think her story is really inspiring, and she gives hope to a lot of people out here. So I hope when you're watching and listening, you learn something new. And before we go on to the interview, I do want to share some quick facts about breast cancer. At every age, Black women are more likely to die from breast cancer than any other race or ethnic group, and Black women have a higher chance of developing breast cancer before the age of 40 than white women. Breast cancer can develop for any reason. So it's important to go to your doctor or go to someone and get those health exams, to get those mammograms. Now, Onyx Hadwin and I interview and speak with Desana. There will be resources at the end of the video about local centers that do breast screening, as well as our care coordination phone number where you can call us and we will direct you to those resources. Now, on to Desana's story.
Hi guys, my name is Desana Moses, and I'm honored to be here to share my experience with you all. So May 20th, 2022, which wasn't too long ago, I was getting sharp pains in my left breast area, and they were really random, rare. They were definitely bearable, but just annoying and kind of like startling. So I said to myself, let me go to my physician. And, I'm a health addict. So the minute I feel or see something wrong, I'm definitely calling my doctor. So I called my physician, and Dr. Tan actually did a full breast exam with her hands and said there are no lumps. Everything feels fine. I said, well, it's really internal. So she said, we're going to go ahead and schedule you for an ultrasound. So in that time frame, basically, on May 30th, felt the pain, scheduled it for maybe like 31st because it was like a holiday weekend. And then that next Monday, I think I was there getting the ultrasound. So I definitely acted fast once, she said she didn't feel anything, but I knew something was wrong. And normally your body tells you, like when something's wrong. So that was a pretty quick turnaround. However, when I got the ultrasound, she did it. The radiologist came in. This was my first ultrasound in my breast area. I had never experienced this before. And she couldn't really go into detail. However, the radiologist came in afterwards and did say that they found some irregular shaping. And I got really, really panicked and worried. And, breast cancer does run in my family. Well, my grandmother had it. So, it definitely startled me, and I was worried and upset. However, like they explained to me, even though it's irregular, this is common. Different people develop cysts and everything else, but the main thing is to get a biopsy done. And, I've never had a biopsy either. So it was all kind of just new and shocking to me. And she said, well, we can either wait a couple months and just see if it grows because it's really small. It was 0.7 centimeters. Or we can go ahead and do a biopsy and, see if it's benign. So I said, oh my God, what's going to happen? I have implants. I also do have silicone implants. I've had them for about a good 8 years now. So that's also a probability, or just a risk that when you do get implants, any foreign substance going into your body, you don't know what the outcome might be, let's say 10 years down the line. So that was just a startle too, a scare for me as well. So I was asking a bunch of questions, and I actually had a trip coming up, and I needed to get these results before my trip just for my own mental sake. So I acted really fast. I actually called, as soon as they told me I had irregular shaping, I actually called my physician, and my physician happened to not be there for some reason. I'm going to tell you guys the real story because this is really what happened. My instincts kicked in and were like, man, you need to just go up to the office. Like, I don't know, something's just telling me go up to the office. So I drove up there. It was about a 20-minute drive. This is after my ultrasound and everything, same day, even though they told me my physician was not there. Just so happens I get up there and I'm kind of, distressed a little bit, and I'm eager to let them know, like, hey, I got the ultrasound, even though we don't have the results quite yet, and the pathologist has not seen the results yet. The radiologist did tell me that there was some irregular shaping. So I said, Dr. Dinesh, really, I'm going out of town. I really need to get these orders in. I just want to get a head start on it. And she knows me very well. We have a really solid relationship. So I'm grateful for that. And she actually said she was there. That's the funny part. She actually was there. My instinct was right. Always go with your intuition. That's another really key fact that I always stress. And she happened to be there, and she said, I know how you are, Desana, but still go on your trip. You can't do anything about it until you get the biopsy, but just don't stress, don't worry, because once again, and also Dr. Lisa Merritt, who also helped me out with this, she is a big, she also said to me, your immune system is working with you. Don't weaken the immune system by stressing yourself out and worrying about something that, even if it is something big or something there, it's early enough that we caught it, because people do act fast. I acted fast. So she said, I'm going to write you these orders. You can call the biopsy director and say you have the orders, and go from there. So I said, thank you, Dr. Dinesh. I'm really grateful. Please keep me posted if you hear anything, whatever. Scheduled the biopsy immediately. Once again, I always want to know what's going on with my body. That's really key just for self-care, longevity. People are a lot of times scared or maybe procrastinate, make excuses, maybe don't have the money, but there's always resources available for people like you, whoever's listening, whoever's watching, no matter what your circumstance is. And I always feel like the earlier you catch something, especially in America, there's great health care and benefits. You can solve it. You can help yourself for being proactive. So that same day, got the orders, called the biopsy director immediately, said, hey, such and such, I have a really close relationship with my doctor, and I know this is kind of rushed. Please make an exception to the rule, but I have the orders ready for the biopsy. I know my ultrasound results haven't come through all the way yet, but the next step is to get the orders for the biopsy the way my insurance works. So she said, wow, you act fast. We'll get the orders signed. You have them. Perfect. I put them in the system. Here's your biopsy day. So that was kind of my experience to get to where I am. To get to doing the biopsy and actually taking that time, being proactive and kind of rushing it. Even if you don't go my way, because I kind of was like over the top, you still need to just take upon yourself to stay on top of the doctors. Doctors typically, they do call. Luckily, there is a great system, but you can always feel free to, call them, speed it up, inquire, find out what's going on with your profile, because like I say, closed mouths really don't get fed, and you have to speak up. All you have is your voice. I've always kind of been on top of my health, especially when it comes to my health. I take it very seriously, and I don't take it for granted. That's probably the only time, well, one of the few times I'll humble myself and say, your health definitely is your wealth. But people that are in fear or procrastinate, or for whatever barrier they might be going through, just know that there's huge support out here. There's people like me that can help you and guide you through it, that can share experiences with you to help you feel, more comfortable. There are programs like what we're doing right now, where they can help you, and they have resources where, you can speak up and don't be scared. This is a no judgment zone. At the end of the day, I feel like a lot of people might be embarrassed as well and go through that, especially as Black young women, because you don't want to be stereotyped, or you don't want to be classified. And, health there is no classification. We're all, trying to stay healthy, live long, healthy lifestyles. And I think that keeping up with just your overall mental health as well as your physical and inner health is key to just being happy and being on top of you, taking your own health, holding yourself accountable and acting on things that you have control over. So don't be scared. Reach out to me, anybody else that you feel safe with and you're secure with. And I promise you, you'll feel better accomplishing something that you might take as a risk, really.
Absolutely. And, I don't know how familiar you are, but at MHI, we do have the care coordination program, and people can call us and we help them connect to doctors, make appointments, etc. So I love that you highlighted that there are resources.
There will be a link attached to this podcast, with all the resources from this recording.
Yes, absolutely. And you touched on mental health in your last response too. And I know during our preliminary conversation, you mentioned that this experience really changed your relationship to anxiety and your experience of anxiety. So I would love to hear you talk about what changed and what did you learn?
Absolutely. So, you take a lot for granted, and, your health is one of the things you walk around every day. You think you're eating well, you think you're incorporating exercise in your normal life until you do get scares like this and you don't know kind of what's manifesting inside of you. But all in all, as the story goes on, as I was waiting for the biopsy results, I did go through a very difficult time and a stressed out time where I had to reach out to family, and they gave me, advice on how to calm myself down and keep my mental health kind of at bay, because your mind does wander and it's natural to worry. But I had to keep thinking positive. I did have to manifest good thoughts. That helps a lot. Meditation helps a lot. And for me, the best thing was being proactive, thinking, keeping that kind of motto in your mind that you can't really do anything about it. It's happening anyhow. So why not just accept what's going on and still keep that kind of healthy mental state where you have positivity coming through, even though it's better said than done. But your mental is everything. That's the only strength you really have. Your brain is a muscle, but as long as you keep yourself busy, you're thinking positive, you're praying. That's a big thing too. Like, I always pray, but during times like this, you feel as though maybe, your higher power can help you out even more. And if that's what keeps you, at bay, do that, do whatever it takes to make you feel good and back to where you can balance, because that's important, especially while waiting the results. And, I kept that mentality, and thank the Lord, they were benign, and I kept that positivity. But you had that temptation where, you do get upset. And all I can say is just, talk to people, being open and sharing experiences. It's crazy. I ran into a few people as I was sharing this experience, and, come to find out they had gone through a couple of health scares too. So you never know what the next person is going through, where they can relate to you, give you advice, keep your spirits up, and be there for you,
I love that. I'm hearing, like, again, kind of in your last response, this idea of like, you're not alone. And sometimes we feel so isolated and alone, but through this experience, that seems to be one thing that came through for you. Would you agree? Yeah. That's beautiful. Did you go on your trip?
I did. I went on one of them. I went to Miami, and actually, as we were taking off, I got the results. So it made my trip even better.
Wow. That's so magical of the universe, I feel like.
It was. And, just with my instance, the universe really aligned for me too, with just how everything kind of was in sync and the way it just flowed, because I was proactive, and I didn't wait around for the doctors for the 5 to 7 days or whatever. And I wanted to know about what was going on. So being, on top of your stuff and being on top of really having that relationship with your doctors as well is crucial.
Right. And that was really key for you when you were working with Dr. Dinesh, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
The other aspect I found really intriguing about what you were sharing earlier this week with me was how this experience changed your understanding of your own body and your own health and wellness. Can you elaborate on that for listeners too?
Yeah, so, again, at 18, 19, or even in my early 20s, I'm in my early 30s now, but you do things to your bodies that you might not realize down the line. You might have complications. And I know, speaking for myself, I did a lot of things. I did put implants in me, trying to get a better look aesthetic wise. And I think that, sometimes too, like, they say be satisfied with what you have and all that. And don't get me wrong, everyone, if they want an enhancement, do it. But I do think that a lot of times when at least for me, with scares like this, for me, it's like, what's that saying? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. And it was almost like, oh my God, should I have gotten this? What if I didn't get this? Would it still have been there? And all those kind of things go through your mind. And, I'm not opposed to enhancing yourself, but I would say, I don't know, do your research on it more. Make sure your surgeons are board certified, not just, the bare minimum. Find out, what the probabilities are, the negatives, the pros and the cons with it, because sometimes you don't think back and make a decision that, it's going to be a lifelong commitment. Because even though I have these, whether this developed from an implant or not, the point is that I still have to maintain these for the rest of my life, unless I just took them out, or anything you do with your body. So it's important just to really think things through and not act off of impulse or aesthetics or just looks because it's cool at the time, and really think, because you don't know what the complications are down the line.
Right. And I'm also curious what, I see this experience has really inspired you to like share the message, and we're doing that now. And I'm also wondering if there's anything else from this that you're taking with you moving forward.
Definitely lifestyle changes. I think that just in general, knock on wood, I am healthy, but still it's like, hey, maybe this was a wake-up call. Hey, maybe, keep incorporating that meditation in your daily lifestyle. Keep that balance, don't maybe eat as much red meat because you're a red meat lover. Just lifestyle changes definitely were red flagged, and I'm going to follow through with the red flags just overall to keep that healthier lifestyle, no matter what, healthy or not. You still take these things and you take heed. At least I do. And I hope this is a wake-up call for everybody listening and watching, saying that, if your body says something to you, act on it, then act on whatever the results are, good or bad, and take it as a learning lesson for yourself, because scares it was very enlightening for me. And from now on, I do incorporate certain things that I learned just with the support that I got into my daily basis now. Yeah, well, I don't know. I guess I'm just a strong person. And I hope that energy rubbed off on everybody here watching and looking, because, certain people that I shared this experience with, they actually said, man, I want to go get a mammogram, or I want to go get checked out, because, you don't really know, and looks can be deceiving. So you definitely have to take heed and practice that healthy lifestyle to continue living a good lifestyle for longevity. So I appreciate, the opportunity. And please send me the link so I can post it up on my social media. Follow my social media if you guys want to reach out to me. Desana_Moses on Instagram, Desana M on Twitter. And I'd be more than happy to coach anybody, give them strength, motivation, storytelling, whatever helps you in your experience. I'm here for that.